Hey guys. So today I'm just going to be talking about entering your 20's. It's a pretty exciting time, but there's this thing that I've heard some people say every now and then that youth is wasted on the young. And I think that's just because when you're in your 20's, you have a lot of powers, you have a lot of ability to do things, you have a lot of freedom that you can't really act on because you don't really have the life experience or the wisdom to really guide your life in a direction that will ultimately lead you down the road that you want. I think 20s is an important decade, and it's a time where you should really lean into your interests. Find things that get you excited and things that you just enjoy doing. When you find those things, lean into them. Lean into that vibe. Build yourself up to be that image of what you enjoy and who you might want to be in the next decade. And one way that you can help future you is taking these interests, whatever they may be, and just find a practical application for them in the workforce to start making some money for yourself. Just find a job that is not too hard to get, that utilizes an aspect of what you're interested in and what you enjoy. Just find a practical way to apply that interest and a way that you can make at least some money that you can potentially grow into something quite successful later in life. Now, that being said, economic success is really not the silver bullet for happiness. I know that's not really new knowledge, but happiness really comes down to the people in your life. And this is another important thing, possibly more important thing than even the economic side of things, is setting yourself up socially for the rest of your life. Now, for people who are outside of university, maybe they never went or maybe they finished, it becomes pretty clear that making friends and new relationships becomes quite difficult. You get less and less opportunities as you get older. Finding relationships in university, college, and even high school that can last is incredibly important for long-term happiness. Finding people in these spaces that you can keep in your life for ideally as long as you can. Make sure to stay in contact with people who you appreciate and people who were good friends at some point. Be sure to reach out every once in a while and just ask them how they're doing, and just try and stay in the loop with people, because by the time you're 30, 40, those relationships are going to be so important, and it's going to bring you a lot of happiness later in life. Now, in both of these scenarios, finding a practical job and finding people who you can keep around for the long run, basically, you're just trying to find endurance in your 20's. You're trying to find things that will last the long haul, things that will get you through to old age, and people who will stay by your side, or at least be there when you need them in the long run. So the thing about your 20's is that, unfortunately, it will pass you by faster than you may think. It'll be good, there'll be a very large period of time where you feel young, you have a lot of energy, and you have all these powers of youth. At the very least, just recognizing that you have good health and just bringing some appreciation to the fact that you are young and you have all these powers. Entering your 20's, you're battling a lot of mental things. Growing up and being a child and a teenager There's a lot of things that you're going to be carrying with you into your young adulthood. And there's going to be a lot of mental blocks, a lot of vices, lots of things that are just going to be pushing you back, holding you back. It's important to take time with these things and give yourself space. Recognize that these things are going to be holding you back a bit, and that's okay. It's okay that you're going to be struggling with things, and give yourself time to work through them. Understand that it's going to take years before you gain full confidence in yourself, or you become more skilled socially, or you overcome some past traumas. Above all the things I've talked about today, above building endurance in your relationships and financially, taking time for your mental health, taking as much time as you need for your mental health, trying to find connections, maybe setting yourself up for a better tomorrow. The biggest thing you can do for yourself in your 20s is to just not stress.